Taurus, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is a bonus read, my friends. How are you? Thank you for clicking here, my bull gang. I appreciate you. I am here to do a bonus read for you, Taurus, because I like to come here a few times a week and catch up with you because you eat up the reading so quickly. Here we go. We're just going to find some energy, find out what's going on for the Taurus collective. What is coming up in the Taurus collective, please? Taurus, when I come here with a bonus read, I don't date or time it. I read for the present energy or the future energy. I do not intend on reading for the past. And let's find out what's going on for you, my bull gang, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I am your bull gang sister. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus, please. Tell me about Taurus. Taurus, we have the Devil. Devil energy. Why does Taurus have the Devil energy? We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the King of Swords. I feel like you've left something in the past here, Taurus. You've left something behind. It was toxic. And if it wasn't toxic, it was something that was codependent or someone that was codependent. Whatever it was, it could have been a toxic work environment. We've got Pentacles here, right? That's 3D, that's Earth 3D stuff here. Could be a toxic work environment that you left behind, but it does feel like it's behind you. It feels like it's been behind you for a while, I want to say, because the Knight of Pentacles for me as a reader, Pentacles are years, and so it could be at least a year that you've left this place, but maybe it doesn't feel that long. The Knight of Pentacles, though, is the one who moves really slowly, who's very specific and practical, someone who is always evaluating the environment or the situation. And I feel like that there is something that kept you bound, or that was codependent, or something you didn't trust. It feels like that is what you've left behind here, and you left that behind you in favor of truth, honesty, and justice, telling the truth, going over details, and actually spitting facts. It feels like that whatever was back here you didn't trust, but I feel like whatever is in front of you, even if this isn't a person, it could be a situation or even just the future, that you're like, I'm leaving this behind. I'm a person who runs in truth, and so I need to find people who run in truth as well. So it could be that you're toward a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, but really the King of Swords energy makes me feel like that you realize that whatever this was, this Devil energy, that you just needed to go. It took you a while to go, though. I feel like you were sort of evaluating the situation and trying to be practical about your movements here until you finally decided to break free. Tell me more about the Devil and the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Strength card. Yeah, you held yourself back here for a while. I feel like it's almost like somebody was biting their tongue. That's what it feels like. It's I'm just looking at this. Yeah, this particular one, it shows that the lion is biting its tongue. So all the different decks sort of throw different energy, and that's why I have so many different decks I like to use. But that particular one, that Strength card, tells me that you were holding back, but it does feel like you were biting your tongue. So it feels like you had to get out of there before you went out guns blazing, right? Yeah. Do you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye right now? I have a guide. His name's Charlie. He gives me my clairvoyance. And what he's showing me is that scene of the Joker walking away from the building with it all blowing up behind him. So I feel like you had to get out of there before you went out in a blaze of glory. That's what it feels like. But you bit your tongue for a very long time, not wanting to say anything about the toxic work environment or the toxic person or the codependency or whatever it was, the obsessive whatever it was that was going on round and round that you couldn't get out of here. It could be that you were dealing with someone who was a toxic Leo, maybe a toxic air sign, a toxic earth sign, toxic fire sign. Take it as it resonates for you. We've got the 10 of Wands here. And so I feel like you stayed in that environment for a while. Look, it could even be a relationship that you decided that you weren't really sure if you wanted to go, but it came to a point where you decided that you had to make a decision between the devil and the truth. Ten of Wands, that you carried it for a while. It feels like it was that you're resilient. I want to say the only way, or the only reason that you got out from whatever this is because you're resilient. Like, you're strong. You got big shoulders, right? You can carry a lot, and you do. And then we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Maybe you went out in a small blaze of glory. Just a small one, maybe, for some of you, not all of you. But the Queen of Swords being in the reverse is telling you what for. This person doesn't really care how you feel about it. I'm just going to tell you exactly how I feel about you and your devil energy and the toxic environment you've created here, this poop soup that we all have to live in. Like, it feels like you left there with the Knight of Pentacles. Like, maybe you had to stay for another year before you could go. But it really does feel like with the Queen of Swords in the reverse that on the way out the door, you're like, you and you and you. It's like you get kicking a bunch of asses and taking names. That's what it feels like here. But I want to say that, pardon me, ultimately, I feel like it's because of your resilience that you were able to remove yourself from this situation. Let's find out what the situation is. What is the situation here? Tell me about Taurus and the Knight of Pentacles. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles, please. I think it was a slow, detailed plan that you needed to come up with here. The Nine of Wands. So for those of you who this is resonating as the workplace or business, I feel like you weren't being paid enough. We do have somebody here who is going over the books, right? We can't really see what they're writing here as I look at this. We can't really see if it's letters or numbers. There's a percentage sign and a couple of numbers, so it could be numbers or letters, but it does feel like you became exhausted. I feel like that the toxic work environment exhausted you, and you weren't making enough money. You were barely making ends meet. It feels like somebody here just decided, you know what, I've got to make a decision about what I'm going to do here because I'm in a bit of a pickle. Yeah, decision. And as I said, that fell right out of the deck, right next to my chest here. So I feel like you had to make a decision of the heart. There's even a heart on this here. So I feel like you had to weigh your odds here. So, you know, the heart is on one side and the feather is on the other. And I think it's said in some sort of religious scripture that in order to pass through the gates to heaven, that your heart will be weighed against that of a feather, and only those who have a clean heart or a light heart would be able to get in. So I feel like you finally had to make some sort of a decision to even the scales. And I feel like the decision put you on a brand new trajectory in your life here. Tell me about Judgment. Tell me about Judgment. We do have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you went on to another job, Taurus. Another job, or maybe you just had a new beginning. I feel like for some of you, you could have invested somewhere, invested in a business. Maybe you're living off of investments. Maybe you invested your income somewhere and you're living off a 401k or something like that. But it does feel like it took you a long time to make the decision to leave this toxic workplace. I feel like you really bit your tongue for a while and you didn't want to say anything because you didn't want to lose your job. For those of you who are looking at this as a relationship reading here, it does feel like you were in some sort of a toxic relationship, or somebody who had dependency on something, a codependency. So it feels like that maybe they were addicted to something, you know, whatever that might be, anything, right? Anything that you do obsessively over and over again, and it's hurting you. Specifically if it's hurting you spiritually or physically or mentally. I feel like this person was somebody that you knew that you had to leave eventually, but you left there quietly, but you also left there slowly. I feel like you weren't about to lecture this person. I don't think you lectured them about whatever was going on, because I really do feel like whatever was going on with them is something that there's no point in saying anything about it, because it was something that they were doing on a loop, something that they were doing obsessively that they couldn't get out of. So it does feel like it was that it was some sort of an addiction of some kind, and it could be anywhere from, you know, buying too many Armani suits to buying too many shoes to whatever the other addictions are, pills, alcohol, any of that. But whatever it is, it was hurting them. And I think that you in order to keep them in your life, you didn't say anything. And that's where a lot of people go wrong, because then it crashes and burns, and we wonder why we're getting in and out of relationships that keep crashing and burning. That is why. People are scared to be alone. They don't want to do it on their own. They don't feel like they can do it on their own, and so they keep their mouth shut, or they bite their tongue until it finally implodes. And I feel like you got out before the implosion. I feel like you are now pointed toward truth and honesty here, that you've realized that that you can no longer live with this devil energy and not saying anything about it. Tell me about the King of Swords. Is this a person, or is this an energy? Tell me what this is. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So you actually threw seeds of intention. It feels like you picked another path, because throwing the seeds of intention is like, first you must have an intention of what you're doing and where you're going. And I feel like it was because you needed to grow something new, something valuable, something slow. I feel like you built up yourself. I feel like you did this all by yourself here. You had to be honest with yourself that it was time to change paths here. And the Judgment card is about that. The Ace of Pentacles is about a new path. It's like you saw the out, the universe gave you an out, and you took it. There's a little archway or door here, right? Now there are some obstacles on the other side. You can see that there's some mountains there. There's some obstacles on the other side, but I think you were weighing it against whatever you were dealing with at the time, and you thought, you know what, I'm just going to be honest with myself. I've got to grow something that is my own, by myself, do my own thing. We have the Queen of Cups. I need to reconnect to my intuition. I'm empathic, I'm kind, I'm compassionate. And I feel like you lost all that stuff in this toxic work environment, or this relationship with somebody who is doing something obsessively. It does feel like it's the beginning. It's the beginning of trusting your intuition. So you began to finally, leaving this situation, whether it was a job or a person, it started you on the path. You started to nurture this little spark of intuitive energy, because I feel like you left there intuitively. You started to nurture this little bit of intuition, and it grew into the Queen of Cups energy here. Now you I think move within intuition, but I think back then you were like, I must go, I've got to trust myself, I've got to be honest with myself, it's time for a new path here. So what's weighing on you that's so heavy here? Because I feel like it's I feel like you are still carrying some heavy burdens here. It's time to put them down, but I feel like you're still carrying something here. You're still carrying heartbreak. I don't think that you wanted to leave, but I think that you realized the situation. You saw it for what it was. You were honest with yourself and saw it for what it was. And we have the Eight of Swords. You would have been stuck there. Taurus, I'm telling you, if I'm talking to you and you're the person who left, even though this person was somebody that you really had a lot of feelings for, or a job that gave you really good benefits and you had a lot of time in, it feels like, I want to say that you really did the best thing, because if you would have stayed with this broken heart and carrying around this heavy load here that was weighing you down, you would have stayed in the Eight of Swords. You would have stayed, and your hands would have been tied. You would have turned a blind eye, and you would have been stuck here. I think you did the right thing. Tell me about the Eight of Swords. It started off with being this heavy energy, moves into being heartbreak, and if you don't do anything, and this might even be current energy for some of you, if you don't do anything, it's going to drag you down, and you're going to be tied. Hands are going to be tied, and you're not going to be able to find your way out of there. It's time for you to find the inspiration, be inspired to move. The King of Wands, there's nothing that will stop the King of Wands from getting what they want. The King of Wands, only certain death is going to stop the King from getting what they want. This particular one is somebody who is chasing after the fires of their heart, right? This is somebody who's also going to do anything that they need to do, travel wherever they need to travel, go where they need to go in order to be able to grow. And I think that's for those of you who are planning on leaving, if you don't know if you're going to go yet, I feel like if you do, you will grow. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be any hardship, but you will grow if you decide to listen to your intuition. So why were you biting your tongue here? We've got the Page of Wands. This person was immature. They were immature, and they weren't willing to Yeah, they weren't giving you anything here, Taurus. I really do feel that somebody here, I feel like you brought all of the energy to the relationship. And so that's why they looked good to you, because you made them look good. Like, I feel like on their own, they're just the devil. But with you there, that you softened it out and made it look good. I want to say that they really didn't give you anything. The Page of Wands is in the reverse. They were lazy. They weren't willing to do anything for you like you were doing for them. They were immature. They were somebody who was probably flirting with every single person that walked by. Feminine or masculine. Look, feminines do it too. And I feel like that somebody was constantly flirting, and I feel like they were getting rejected over and over and over again, but I feel like you let them stay. Ten of Cups is in the reverse. They had no intention in getting married. They had no intention in moving into a family situation. I feel like the time that you spent with this person, that there might have been fire. It probably began in fire here. But I think that dissipated as well. I feel like they start to reject your advances, or they just stop. Yeah, it feels like a rejection here. So I feel like you finally can't hold your tongue anymore. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. What kind of damage does the Queen of Swords do here? We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the High Priestess, and we've got the Death card. Get out. That's what it looks like here. I've got to find a way to get out of this place. Either this person leaves the place that we're in, or I got to leave the place that we're in. The High Priestess is secrets. You realize that there were secrets. All of a sudden, silence ensues. Even if you're living together, you stop talking to each other. You needed more stability. It's time for the secrets to come out. So I feel like this Queen of Swords was telling all of the secrets about the person that they were with. I feel like you just kind of let them know exactly what you thought of them, and let them know exactly why you were leaving. We do have the Knight of Swords. You were pretty aggressive with it too. Eight of Cups, you disconnected. Eight of Pentacles, I need to work on myself. So Taurus, I feel like if this hasn't happened for you yet, it's probably coming. I feel like somebody here doesn't want to be alone, but the only reason that they're staying in this toxic job is because they feel like they don't have any other opportunities. But I'm telling you, there's another opportunity if you make the hard decision and move out slowly. I'm not saying quit your job today and go. I'm saying go slowly, reevaluate the situation. Can you stay there? But I think for some of you, that you stay because you don't want to be by yourself. You don't want to have to do it all on your own. What's the outcome here? It's unfortunate, but that's the reason that a lot of people never get out of relationships until they become rejected. It's like they choose not to see the red flags. There's red flags all over the devil. Yeah, you're taking charge of the situation. And yeah, you're getting smart. So we do have the Star here. I feel like you realize your potential. This person would try and minimize your potential because they don't want you to feel faster, better, stronger than them. They're keeping you bound to them. Right? And if you start feeling like you are the star, or you start feeling like you're a smarty pants, right? The Page of Swords is here. If you start going to school or bettering yourself or getting more education or standing up for yourself, this person is somebody who needs to keep their thumb on you in order to keep you in their life. So I feel like that you decide to stand up finally as the Emperor and take charge of the situation. What's next? The Three of Wands, peace, the Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. So I feel like you realize, you have a realization, a moment of clarity that everyone else's ships are coming in and you're the one waiting by the window in this toxic energy. So whether this is a job or if this is a relationship, I feel like somebody is planning on an escape or leaving or moving really slowly towards the next thing, because you got to be honest with yourself. You've lost track of your intuition because the devil has got you bound to them. So whoever the person is who is causing you to not feel good about yourself, or is whether you're feminine or masculine, I'm not saying that the devil is either feminine or masculine. So if you're a person who's with a person who is not making you feel like you're worth anything or making you feel like you can do it on your own, you should be in a relationship where someone's empowering you, and this person's not empowering you. They're actually sucking your energy away. So it's time to reconnect to your intuition, or you're going to get stuck. You're going to get stuck here until you finally realize, until you set the whole place on fire and realize you need light. Yeah. So I feel like somebody here is having a realization that it's time to go. The Chariot is here. And I don't think you're going to say anything when you're going to go. I think you're just going to go, because the Chariot is Cancer energy, keeping it under the surface. I'm not really going to say anything, but I do have this realization that everyone else has got what they need. Why don't I have what I need? And it's because you won't let go of this toxic thing, whatever it is. It's time for a new beginning here. And we do have the Two of Wands. It's time for you to make a decision, make a plan, and get out of there and get to something new. Get to this new opportunity here, because you never know what's going to happen here. I feel like you stay because you're romantically linked to this person for some of you. And some of you, it's a job where you're a boss or a manager, or you're on the second or third level of something. It feels like you don't want to let it go because you have time in, you have tenure, whatever it is. But I feel like if you're this person, everything you touch turns to gold anyway. This is Taurus energy. And so I feel like this Ace of Wands is telling me it's time for you to get out on a new path. Yeah. I'm going to leave that right there, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I appreciate you all. I'm going to go for now. Love you guys. And I'm out, and I'll be back because I'm always back. What the hell else I got to do? Bye. Love you guys. Bye.